Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. Jan Michael here, coming at you from a brand new location. For plot reasons. Ooh. Alright, you don't give a fuck about that. What you do give a fuck about are my new Oscar predictions, this time for September of 2022. Now, two quick things before we get into my predictions. First, Killers of the Flower Moon is not on my list this month. And no, not because a few of you had an aneurysm that it was on my list last month. Truth be told, we still don't have a concrete year for when the movie is coming. Which makes it kind of weird because everybody is reporting it coming out next year, so why the fuck doesn't Apple just say, oh yeah, it's coming next year? And my thought on that has to be that they are trying their darndest to get it to us this year, but it's just not looking possible, so they didn't want to really cement anything in stone just yet. The reason it really isn't on my list is because there have been reports that they had to do extra shooting, not with any of the main characters, mind you, but the fact that they are still in the process of having to shoot scenes makes me think that, yeah, this film is nowhere near being done. So I think more likely it is coming next year, so I'm gonna remove it for now. But Lord help me if I end up being wrong on this. The second thing I wanted to tell you guys is that the Venice Film Festival is currently going on right now. Well, technically not while I'm recording this, but definitely by the time this video is going up. And not long after that, TIFF is happening. So a couple of you might be wondering, why am I not just waiting for the festivals to be over and done with before doing my new predictions? And truthfully, part of it is that I wanted to maintain my schedule of bringing these videos to you the first Friday of every month. But the second thing being that by the time I really read all the reviews and kind of make up my mind on the order of things, and by the time I record the video and then edit the video, it most likely will either be the middle of the month or close to the end of it. So at that point, might as well just wait for the October ones, right? And so hopefully this video isn't completely dated so by the time it comes out. But if I do hear anything early, I'll do my best to just throw little edits in to kind of give you a heads up on what's going on with the films that have premiered. And if I just don't get a chance to do that, then at the very least, I'll throw some comments down below. That way I can kind of give you some small updated thoughts on the matter. Okay, that all said, let's jump into the predictions. My number one for Best Picture is still Everything Everywhere All at Once. And this may be the final month that it is so. Now that we have all the big films premiering over the next couple of weeks, we're probably going to have a much clearer picture of what to expect moving forward. And hey, good on Everything for lasting this long. It definitely got another shot of life once it came out on home media and streaming services, so yeah, it's very, very exciting how well the film has done. I still think it'll get into Best Picture, even if in the long run maybe it won't take home the win, though I'll always secretly be rooting for it. And a big part of it is because by the time the Oscars do roll around, it'll have been practically a year since the film released. And I think most people are just going to be ready to talk about the next thing, the new thing. And it is going to hurt its chances. Now, I know some of you are like, but what about Coda last year? And the fact of the matter for that one is that there was this kind of lull period in the middle where people stopped talking about the movie and people were kicking it out of their predictions, thinking it wasn't even going to make it anymore. And then by the time the Oscars started rolling around and the nominations started coming out, people started rediscovering the film and giving it another shot of life. So I think that's the argument you can make for Coda. I don't think Everywhere is going to have that same trajectory, especially because there was just a long period of time that really nothing, apart from Top Gun, you can make the argument, came out. So there's that for you guys. Again, secretly hoping it goes all the way, but I know it's probably not going to. Number two, Babylon, which I kind of find funny because this is like one of the few films that isn't getting a premiere within the next few weeks, but I'm excited for it. I do like Damien Chazelle's film, so definitely looking forward to this one. And I've heard through the grapevine that the ambitiousness of the movie might lead it to get an NC-17 rating. I don't buy that for a minute. So yeah, not listening to that rumor whatsoever, but I do have to admit, it'd be very interesting to see the Oscars give Best Picture to an NC-17 rated film. And I know that usually very much hurts your chances of getting into the Oscars, but hey, if we got an X-rated film winning the Best Picture with Midnight Cowboy, why couldn't NC-17 at least sneak in if it was an amazing film? And, you know, with Hollywood being the topic center, you got that circle jerk production, so I don't see it being out of the realm of possibility there. Fabelmans, this one is going to be at TIFF, so yeah, very excited. I don't want to repeat myself and what everybody else is saying, but yeah, it's a story that's very dear to Steven Spielberg, so I don't see why this one wouldn't be an Oscar contender unless he really fumbles, and I just don't think that's going to happen. So there's that for you. Number 4, since I don't have Killers of the Flower Moon, Bardo moves up, and this one is getting its premiere at Venice, so by the time this comes out, we may know a little bit more on what to expect on it. So I have it at number 4. If it ends up falling flat on its face, a lot of you are probably gonna be like, oh no, fuck it, it's terrible, don't take it off the list. But it's Alejandro. Even if it's not his strongest film, if it ends up not being his strongest film, I think it's still gonna get enough love and support to get a push to the Oscars. So that's what I'm banking on right now, but you guys can let me know if I'm wrong on that one. Number 5, The Son. This one also going to Venice, and I don't think this one is gonna reach the same critical acclaim as The Father. Even if it ends up being the exact same, like let's say it delivers like the exact same amazement. That being said, because it's the same, it automatically kind of gets brought down just a little notch. Because we've been there, we've done that. And with these type of films, I don't see how much further and how much more amazing you can make it. So there's that. I could be wrong, but you guys let me know how it's doing right now. Women Talking, this one's going to TIFF. I had this one and She Said together last month because they did feel very similar to each other, but a lot of buzz and a lot of hype behind Women Talking over She Said. So ultimately, I am going to kind of raise that one up and put it on its own. We'll find out soon enough if it is that Oscar contender that everybody wants it to be, or if that early word of it not quite reaching the potential that it could have is true. Number 7, I have Tar, and I know a lot of people were looking at that teaser trailer and going, oh no, this looks like it's gonna be a Spencer. It's probably not gonna get into anything, except maybe lead actress. So I don't know, it's a teaser trailer. I don't think you make that full-on proclamation on just a teaser, but again, you guys probably know more than I do at this moment in time, so please let me know or I'll update you below. Number 8, The Banshees of Inisherin, also going to be at Venice. I didn't have this one on my list last month, but I saw the trailer since then, and yeah, I gotta admit, it looks very fascinating, although it doesn't look like an Oscar contender to me. Like, I don't think it's concerned with being an Oscar contender. I think it's more focused on just delivering a fun, dark comedy of a script, just like with In Bruges, which I fucking love In Bruges, it's one of my favorite films of all time, so that's why I'm on board, but I don't know if it'll be anything more than that, but I can hope. Number 9, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I was originally going to put The Woman King on here, but comparing the two, I have to admit that I think more people are excited for Black Panther and the possibilities there. It had a really strong trailer, and The Woman King is already kind of getting some bad word of mouth. So I don't know. It's looking to me like it's going to be more Black Panther than The Woman King, but you know, again, we'll find out very soon with this one. With Marnie no longer in the director circle, I am going to push the Daniels up to number 1, and again, this could be their only month in the number 1 spot. We will find out very soon. And I know a lot of people don't really have the Daniels in their top 5, even with Marty gone. I see a lot of people really floating them in like the 6th, 7th spot, and I don't know. I do think they did a really good job with the directing, so I don't see why you wouldn't at least give them the consideration of getting into the top 5, unless I guess you could use the argument that I said with everything having been out for so long that maybe the directors just kind of fall through as well. So there's that for you. Damien Chazelle, number 2. Steven Spielberg, number 3. Alejandro, number 4. These have been on my predictions since last month, so no surprise there. Number 5, I put Sarah Polley for Women Talking. This isn't a big, huge surprise, as everybody has her at the number 5 spot. And yeah, I would like to see her get in, just because otherwise this is a very big sausage fest, and come on, we need that diversity in there as well. We've been doing well the last couple of years. Don't fuck it up this one. Before I get into the acting ones, I do have to say that as of right now, I'm not very confident in a lot of the predictions that a lot of people are putting on their list. And it's like scattershot. They're all over the place. But there's really nobody, apart from like the 1, 2, sometimes even the 3rd spot, where the 4th and the 5th just, I don't know, it's just like a big question mark. And I feel like by this time last year, there was a lot more certainty, or a lot more very exciting and strong possibilities. This one is kind of like, maybe, possibly, without the confidence. And part of it is very exciting, because that means it can go any which way. So just kind of wanted to mention that as I go through these. For actress Michelle Yeoh, I do think she should win, but she's going to have a heck of a challenge with Margot Robbie, who a lot of people are saying she's really, really good in Babylon. So I do think it's going to be a fight between them two. Don't know if Cate Blanchett will also be in the winning conversation, but I do think she's practically guaranteed a spot for Best Actress here. Olivia Colman for Empire Light. This one's going to TIFF as a side note. I don't see Empire of Light being a huge Oscar contender, if I'm being honest. I know it's Sam Mendes, but I don't know. For me, he's hit or miss sometimes, so there's that. The early buzzword is that this is a miss for the Oscars, if you will, except for Olivia. And then 5, I'm keeping Ana de Armas for Blonde. This one premiering at Venice, so you guys can let me know how that turns out. But again, I know the NC-17 rating really hurts her chances of getting in, but I think if she does an amazing job, there's at least got to be some push for her. But again, just 4th, 5th slot, I'm not 100% confident in, and I think it could really go in a multitude of ways. Same deal with actor. Still have Hugh Jackman at number 1. I think it's time to give him his Oscar. He has a really good shot this year if he delivers, and he usually does, so there's that. Austin Butler makes his way up now that we don't have some of the performances for Killers of the Flower Moon on here. We also have Daniel Jimenez Gacho for Bardo. If the film is another strong showing for Alejandro, he usually gets his actors in, so I think this one's also pretty safe, but again, I'm not 100% certain. Same with Song Kang-ho for Broker. Now, I know South Korea isn't pushing Broker, so his nomination for actor seems a lot less likely, but that doesn't mean that it's impossible, so I'll keep him here for now, but he may go soon. And then 5, Colin Farrell for The Banshees and Inisherin. Again, I don't know if that is going to be a huge Oscar contender. I would love to see Colin nominated. I do enjoy him as an actor, but I'll also admit there's not a lot that he's in that has just completely blown me away, where I'm like, holy shit. Honestly, the Penguin for Batman earlier this year is probably one of the few times I'm like, damn. Not only is he disguised, but he plays the part. So given the right role, I think he could get in. I'm not 100% confident in his performance for this one just yet. Now, as a side note, I did want to talk about Brendan Fraser for The Whale, because a lot of people are predicting him. A lot of people are. They're putting him either at the number 1 or the number 2 spot. They're like, he's a done deal. He's guaranteed to get in. He's going to get nominated an award for a performance that nobody's really seen just yet. So, I like Brendan. I think he's cool. He's funny. He's very kind from what I've read and seen. I wish him success, and I hope I'm wrong when I say I just don't see him being an Oscar contender. Everything that he's been in, it's been fine at best. But even when he tries to do dramatic stuff, it's always very underwhelming to me. I just don't know. Maybe maybe this is the film that finally makes him shine, but I just don't know. But The Whale is one that is just about premiering, so hey, you guys let me know if I'm wrong, and hey, I really hope I am. I would love to see an amazing performance from him. Alright, back on track with supporting actress, Michelle Williams at number 1. I think this is the one that everybody is just unanimous on. It's like, it looks like she has a very clear road, but who knows? Maybe something will happen to make this one a little bit more exciting. Have Stephanie Sue for Everything Everywhere All at Once. A lot of people still kind of dismissing her, either putting her on the lower end of the top 5 or maybe even out of it, but I do like that she is getting more consideration now than she was before, so there's that. Laura Dern for The Son, who I have double nominated with Vanessa Kirby for The Son. I feel like Vanessa is supporting, and Laura could very well be as well, but maybe there's a chance Laura goes into lead if she has a lot of screen time. I don't know the script for for The Son. I refuse to read it and spoil it for myself, so if you guys have, let me know. Oh yeah, she's supporting, or she's lead, or maybe it could be either or. So there's that. And then number 4, Griselda, as I said, Bardo, Alejandro, he gets his actors in, so I think she has a pretty good shot of getting in as well. But again, just not 100% confident. Supporting actor definitely hit the hardest when I had to leave out the Killers of the Flower Moon cast, because I had that one also being a double nomination. So now I gotta fill it up with 2 people that I just am not, again, to repeat myself, confident in. But still have Ke-Huy Quan for Everything. I do think he deserves to win. He has such a fucking fantastic narrative. I hope he does. Paul Dano, I think he's a really good pick there. Zen McGrath, a lot of people saying, oh no, this one's going to be serious. He could go all the way. We'll see. Again, early buzz, I don't always take to heart that much, but enough that I paid attention, and I'm slowly moving him up. Woody Harrelson for Triangle of Sadness. I heard he's really good in it, but I heard he's not the only one, and a lot of people rather see the nomination go elsewhere rather than him, but that he is still very worthy of the nomination if he does get it. But again, just, I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out. And then Brad Pitt for Babylon. If he does get in, I don't think he's going to win. He just won his Oscar not that long ago, and Brad is just one of those people that, like, I always just see Brad Pitt. Very rarely do I see him transcend into the character he's playing and become someone else or fool me. So I think that's just the curse, but that's okay because he's got his Oscar, so he doesn't need another one, at least for performing. So that's what I have for you on that one. Really, nothing's changed with the original screenplay. Everything is in the order that I had him in last month, with the exception of The Fabelmans, which I placed into my number 5 spot. So there you go. Adapted screenplay did get shifted around a bit. The Son now at my number 1. Women Talking now by itself. Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, which is going to be at TIFF. A lot of people are saying that this one is on par, if not better, than the original. I wasn't a big fan of the original, and I know I'm in the minority on that one. A lot of people fucking love the first one, so I don't know. If it is better, maybe I'll be on board, but it's not what I think. It's what do the Oscars and the voters think, and it has a good chance of getting in if that's what people are saying about it. Banshees of Inisherin, even if this doesn't end up being a huge Oscar contender for picture, actor, In Bruges did get an Oscar nomination for its writing, so we can see Banshees potentially getting in for the writing here. And then She Said at my number 5, I don't know, I feel like it could get an Oscar nomination or so, and maybe writing is where it's going to be at. I mean, it is a movie about the discovery and the research, so there's writing involved. So yeah, I don't see why I couldn't get in at least here. Okay, so for the below the line categories, a lot of it has stayed the same, or there's only been minor shifts just because I had to get rid of killers. So I'm gonna move faster than normal on these just to not have to repeat myself from what I said last month. So film editing, Everywhere still at number 1, Babylon still at 2, Fableman still at 3. Put Bardo in here. This is the one that replaced Killers. Top Gun Maverick still at number 5. Moving on, production design, it's pretty much all the same. I had to take out Killers, so Babylon, Fablemans, Black Panther, Elvis. Bardo is your new one in this month. There's that for you. Cinematography, same deal here. Killers is gone. I brought in Empire of Light. It is Roger Deakins, and in hindsight, I think it's odd that I didn't include it last month, but again, I'm just not hugely convinced on the film's potential to be an Oscar contender, but Roger Deakins gets in, so I probably should have included him last month. That's my bad. You can call me out for that one. Costume design, again, pretty much the same thing here. I did add Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris just because it does focus on costumes. I said last month that we don't really have a film that is about the costumes. And while I wouldn't say Mrs. Harris is 100% about the costume, it is a central focus of sorts. You do see a lot of it on play there, so it wouldn't be surprising if this one got in, but I don't think it's going to go all the way. Makeup and hairstyling, this one is exactly the same. Nothing has changed, and you can see this is the only place that I do have the whale. So hey, there you go. I'm not completely 100% dismissing it, but I guess we'll find out. Animated feature film, the top three are the same. I threw Wendell and Wild in here. A lot of people really convinced it's getting in, and I mean, I don't have anything else to put in 4 or 5, so fuck it, I'll just throw it in there. And then Marcel the Shell with Shoes on. Yeah, it qualifies from what I understand. Whether it gets in or not, that's a whole different story, but it got great reviews. A lot of people like it, so yeah, I don't see why not. We have started to see what the different countries are going to be submitting in terms of their films. Bardo is still number 1. Obviously, it's just, if it gets into Best Picture, it's gonna win here. Decision to Leave, this is the official pick from South Korea. I do have RRR at number 3, but that being said, I don't believe they've submitted this one as their contender. And as a quick side note, I do apologize. Last month I did call the film Bollywood. That was not the case. So if I didn't insult or make people upset on that one, I do apologize. I am now better enlightened and won't be making that mistake again. So again, sincere apology on that. The Quiet Girl from Ireland, this one just got the official submission as well. And then All Quiet on the Western Front from Germany, that one has been officially submitted. So apart from a few, we got a small picture on what could get in, but it's still the early race. This could still change. A documentary feature, this one really hasn't changed. The only thing is I moved Fire of Love to number 1 and Navalny to number 2. A lot more people talking about Fire of Love. And then as a side note, Moon Age Daydream, gonna be at TIFF, so we'll see how that one turns out. All right, the sound categories. Nothing's changed. I think I'm pretty sure these are all exactly the same as I had last month. Yeah, take a look. There's really not much more to comment on from there. Original score, the 2 things I did want to mention is Empire of Light. Myself and so many people put the wrong composer in, and I don't know what that was up about, so I have to apologize on that front as well. It is actually Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, so still keeping Empire of Light in, and those two guys are amazing, so I don't see why they wouldn't get in. The second thing I wanted to talk about is Hildur. She's the one who won the Oscar for her music in Joker, so a lot of people thinking she's going to get back in, and she's got 2 films, actually. Most people have her for Women Talking, and it makes sense if that is the one that's going to be the bigger Oscar player. But she's also doing it for Tar. And to me, doesn't it make sense that the film about music would be the one that has the more impressive soundtrack to it, if you will? So, although, on hindsight, if Tar does end up being like Spencer, which also had Johnny Greenwood, who did that one, and he had 2 films last year, and people thought he'd get in for both, and holy crap, the parallels are just too rich. I fucking love these type of things, but I don't know. I think it could go either way, so I'm placing them both here for now. Original song is the exact same. Feel free to take a look, and yeah, just until I hear something new, I'm just gonna keep this one as is. And then visual effects are exactly the same as well, so take a look. It's the exact same. I'm not gonna go into it again. Animated shorts, the only thing that's changed here is I put Shaka in at the number 4 spot. Just my number 4 and 5 spot last month, which number 4 just dropped number 5. It's only like 5 minutes long. I don't see that being a possibility no matter how interesting it sounds. So truthfully, none of these could get in. I can be completely off. I just don't feel confident about the animated shorts this time around until I see more stuff. Oh, we start to get the early festivals for the animations. It's just a guessing game, really. Documentary short is pretty much the same as well. I placed Hold Your Breath, the Ice Dive in. It's on Netflix. You can watch it right now. And because it's on Netflix and it's easier to access, I think that gives it a better boost in terms of possibly getting in. It's not always the case, but it's worth a mention. Now, the one that has changed quite a bit is actually live action short, because there's been quite a little bit of announcements that make this one interesting. Interesting for you too. Just bear with me here. Number 1, I have All Too Well, the short film. This one with Taylor Swift in it. So we got star power here. And Taylor, I don't know, like, I feel like she really wants that Oscar. And she's like, fuck it, if I'm getting in for my songs, I'll get in through another means. And yeah, short film, whenever there's a star involved, it has a better chance of winning. Again, not always the case, but again, your chances do go up there. But she's got some competition because number 2, Remembering, this is a short that's about to come out on Disney Plus with Brie Larson. So another short that has star power involved. That's going to be interesting. And at number 3, I have We Cry Together with Kendrick Lamar. So yeah, we got 3. I don't know if all 3 are going to get in. None of them could. They all could. Maybe only 2 out of the 3 get in. Maybe only 1. If it was just 1, that'd be kind of boring. But I would love to at least see 2. So that way it's a battle. And it could end up being one of the few times that one of the short categories really is exciting to see and find out who wins. So yeah, it doesn't happen very often. But when it does, fucking exciting. That's all I have for you guys for this month. I know I breezed through everything. I've already made my arguments for my picks last month, and truth be told, we could already be seeing certain things falling off, or things sneaking in, or placements just being rearranged. And I didn't want to go so deep into detail when it's just going to be obsolete in a day or so. So in a few days. So yeah, sorry for the short length on this one. If you do like to see me go in more in depth. But next month, that one's going to be quite a doozy. So a lot of exciting possibilities. I will, if I didn't get a chance to do any extra editing, I will just kind of throw in comments here and there as things get announced, as things get reviewed. My thoughts, we can keep the conversation going if you guys want. Otherwise, it's just a quick little update I'll throw each time. It'll get you guys to come back, right? Right? No, you're never coming back again. So, oh well. Guys, please stay safe out there, and like always, have a good one.